Hey guys, it's Adam. I'm back. I am back and I'm going to be showing you how you can build a brand properly in 2026, both using Amazon and TikTok Shop. I've been selling on Amazon now for 6 years and we've got 5 of our own brands on the Amazon platform, and we also sell on TikTok Shop and various other platforms. And today I'm going to be showing you, I've got about 7 tips here that I've written down to which you need to know how, so you can actually go ahead and launch your own brand properly, effectively, and make a ton of money. So I've got the first one right here. First of all, quite simple, quite easy, maybe quite obvious, but just make sure there's some freaking room and some opportunity to enter the market, right? Because let's say, for example, you want to go ahead and sell coffee, yeah? So this is very, very saturated market. You going ahead and launching your own coffee brand, no one's going to know your brand, no one's going to like your brand, no one's going to trust your brand. So who the frig is going to buy your brand or buy your products? Nobody's going to buy it, nobody's going to know it, nobody's going to like it. So nobody's going to buy it, because then you've also got Lavazza, who are selling freaking loads of them. You've got Nestle, all these big companies which are already selling there, and they're already page 1 on Amazon. People already know them. They're already in the supermarkets and all them things. So you're not looking to enter a market where the coffee is a commodity which is tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people are searching for this on the Amazon platform alone each and every single month. So it's like you don't need to enter something like this which is selling absolutely wild and absolutely crazy, okay? And so when I say make sure there's room for opportunity, it comes down to you finding a niche or a sub niche to which there's actually room, right? So to which the sales volumes are significantly less, the competition is significantly less, but obviously not too less, not too small, not too little to the point where nobody's searching for it. You need to be looking for things which have a fine medium, maybe on that lower end of, like, for example, me personally, we look for things between like 3 and 10,000 search volume per month. If you don't know what that means, we use Helium 10, which is a software how we can look for search volume and stuff like this on the Amazon platform, and we look between like 3 and 10,000, right? And the chances, and not the chances, should I say, like the room for you to make money in that realm, in that side of things, is a lot easier for you to launch a product and then furthermore get to page 1 and also get some reviews behind your start, and it's going to be cheaper for you to spend money on advertising, right? So you might be interested in coffee, sure, but you're not going to launch coffee beans. You may want to launch some sort of unique coffee, some nootropic coffee or something like this, which is very niche down and speaking to a very specific set of people within that sub niche. Because if you're just targeting people which are liking coffee, it's going to be so hard for you to enter the market, right? So that's number 1 on how you can actually launch a brand properly. Literally just make sure there's room and opportunity, quite obvious. Number 2, make killer packaging that stands out. This is actually really, really important, right? Because, and you can do this in a multitude of different ways. Number 1 is quite obvious, and it's actually you learning as much as you possibly can about your ideal customer, right? Let's just go to nootropic coffee again. Like, so for example, coffee which helps with cognitive function, it's got like functional mushrooms in or something like that, right? So you're going to be targeting perhaps business owners or maybe kids with ADHD, and you're providing that as a product to sort of help calm down their ADHD, for example. Like, I don't know too much about this niche, right? So let's go for that kids one, kids with ADHD. Let's say you're targeting kids with ADHD. That nootropic coffee is going to help them slow their brain down a little bit and make them feel more relaxed, and in turn help them focus more. Okay, so you're targeting kids between the ages of 5 and 10 years old which struggle to focus. Now you see you're speaking to a specific person here. Now, how this relates to packaging. You need to be designing your packaging if you know for sure that you're going to be speaking to these people, and 90% of your sales are going to come from this type of clientele. Obviously, it'll be their parents buying it, but like you get the point. You want to be designing your packaging around that ideal customer for sure. You need to make it resonate with them as much as possible. So you're going to make it somewhat child friendly, right? Even though the parents are going to buy it, obviously. You do want to make it child friendly. Oh, I don't know why I'm yawning there. But I mean, conversely, if you're doing a male self-improvement product, you might want to have really dark packaging, right? Masculine colors, very minimalist, to actually just resonate with 25 to 45-year-old males, masculine males. Like, you may well want to design it that way. That's one thing you need to do. You really need to make sure that it resonates with your ideal customer. Second thing, or there's a few more things that you can do, but the second thing is make it stand out and don't be afraid to be a little bit playful. And this is where you can somewhat start to deviate from what I just said prior, but like, I'm going to come back to coffee, but like, check grind coffee, for example, on Google. If you don't know grind coffee, or like, remember me saying that coffee is a very saturated market to enter? Sure, grind entered it with pink packaging. Like very light pink packaging, very minimalist, says grind on the front and that's it, very minimalist pink packaging. And they were able to stand out like a sore thumb there, which is super, super cool. So if you can obviously make your packaging stand out and don't be too afraid to be a little bit playful, you can always change your packaging on your next production run, obviously. So yeah, don't be afraid to be too playful with your packaging as well. Next is make sure there's benefits on the product. So let's say, for example, if your product does a certain thing, and let's say if it helps them with ADHD, for example, you got to be very, very careful with sort of claims that you make. So you can't say, cures ADHD or reduces ADHD, for example, but you can say things like improve cognitive function, better focus, and these types of things. Obviously, there's studies behind things which say, it helps with focus. You need to be putting the dream outcome for the customer on the packaging if you can, in any way, shape or form. And if you can put that in image format, in the form of your logo, in the form of like some image or something of some kid working productively in just one static image, sometimes it may be easy, sometimes it may be hard. For example, like if you're having testosterone pills or whatever like this, like pills which are all natural, which help boost testosterone, you may want to have a ripped gorilla on the front of it with muscles, right? Because that just signifies, subconsciously, you may not be like, oh, I'm going to be like that gorilla, but subconsciously you'll be like, oh, this is going to help me get ripped, jacked, shredded, for example, right? So that's number 2. Make killer packaging that stands out, and I've pretty much covered everything that you can do to stand out. And obviously, this is quite obvious though as well, like look at your competitors, see what they're doing good and copy that, and also see what they're doing bad and improve upon that. And just see like, is everybody's product in a packet, and then can you just put yours in a tub just to differentiate yourselves, okay? Number three, have a killer listing which stands out. This is very, very, very important, right? Now, more specifically on your first image. So let's say if you're scrolling through the Amazon platform right now, whether it's on your phone or whether it's on your computer. The first thing you see, you don't look at the title, you don't look at anything. The first thing you look at is the image. So if your main image is trash, your listing is going to be trash, the amount of clicks you're going to get is going to be shit, the amount of sales in turn that you get are going to be shit. And then also, like, if you're spending money on ads, you're wasting money on ads basically. So you need to make sure your main image is the best it can possibly bloody be. Really, 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 really. If you have to spend a decent amount of money making a phenomenal main image, bloody do it. It'll make up for it in the long run, 100%. So the main image is super, super cool. Get professional photography done of it on a white background. If the product is like in packaging, try and have some of the product loose out of the packaging as well. That's usually quite nice. Different angle optimization, so you can sort of like test them, like do A/B tests on them and all them things. Maybe 3D renders sometimes look really, really good for certain products. A lot of the time they are looking, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. A lot of the time 3D renders are looking actually really, really good because they just make the product look perfect basically. So killer listing starts with the main image first of all. Next, you're going to want to have like 6 or 7 images following that. Furthermore, which sell the product. And image number two is also very, very important. It should basically be every single benefit that you have on your product in this format. And again, sort of like, 'dream outcome of what the customer is going to get, right? So, for example, like if it's, 'cause 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 if it's, going to help boost testosterone, you're going to put maybe like helps to build testosterone, not builds testosterone, or like and things like helps to build muscle, increased energy, probably pushing it on increased libido, all these types of things, right? You want to be putting this on the second image and just selling your product as much as possible. You want to have, so you got your main image, and then you want to have 6 or 7 following images. Usually you want 3 infographics, which are basically just benefits and selling the product as much as possible, and 3 lifestyle images. So like 3 images of like the product getting used, you know, your ideal customer actually using it, somebody which, you know, looks like someone that would buy it basically. So yeah, 7 to 8 total images. I know you can get up to 9 now, I think, as well. Also, you want to be making sure you have a video on your listing, which is pretty important in this day and age. TikTok Shop and things like this, which is cool. Like a lot of people are looking on videos now, short form stuff. So a video is that cherry on top. And then, I don't know why I keep yawning, right? It's very, very weird. But then also, not just the images, like we do look with the images for sure. You do also need to speak to Amazon in some way, shape or form, using your words. So what I call it is a highly searched listing, right? A highly searched volume listing, right? You're going to want to have as much keywords as possible in your listing, in your title, in your bullet points, in your descriptions, just so that your product is showing up in more places, okay? So your product is showing up in more places, which is going to be super, super important. So if you've got, you know, testosterone booster in your listing, you've got Tonga Ali in your listing, you've got testosterone boosting supplements for men all in your listing, like, and not just one keyword. Like, you want to be having as many as possible, just so you're ranking for all these different types of things that people are searching for, okay? So that's 3 things at the moment. Number 4, have a killer marketing plan using Amazon and TikTok Shop, okay? This is imperative, right? So you want to be using Amazon and TikTok Shop in synergy, for sure. Now, TikTok Shop is very, very important in this day and age, and this is why I mention it now. Like, you want to be using TikTok Shop in your discovery phase, in your launch, 100% on throughout the time you're selling, obviously, as well. But it's going to be very, very important in your launch because it's really, really good for discovery. It's really, really good because you can make viral videos super, super quickly. So someone can go from knowing 0 about your brand to knowing a fucking shit ton of it because it's gone super, super viral. And then you've then built a little bit of trust from there, right? So TikTok's extremely good for visibility and marketing. Very, very good for it. And you can actually make more money on TikTok than Amazon sometimes as well. But like a lot of the time, what brands tend to do is sort of use TikTok Shop as not necessarily a loss leader, but they don't tend to worry too much about making as much money on TikTok Shop because it's so good for visibility. Like, that creates a snowball effect, for example, to Amazon and to your own website, to a load of other places as well. And when you're combining this with Amazon, right, you want to launch on Amazon at a particularly low price as well. But your goal is, for example, if you launch on Amazon at $14.99, but you want to sell at $19.99 to actually make a decent amount of money, you'll start at $14.99, you'll increase to $15, $16, $17.99, for example, all the way up to $19.99. I'm going to have to stop yawning, what the hell? What the hell? So you increase it gradually, but that's when you start getting reviews, when you start getting sales and stuff like this. That $14.99 to begin with was just to boost it in the Amazon algorithms, also to make sure that you get good reviews back from customers and all these types of things as well, okay? And it's also like, I wasn't going to mention it in this video, but like if you could have your Shopify store set up as well, even better. Like, you'll probably end up getting sales on your own website. So I want to touch on Amazon launch as well. So all I said was just go aggressive on prices as well. So you also want to be utilizing Amazon PPC ads 100% on your launch, combining the PPC ads with the low price with also something called Amazon Vine reviews, basically where you give away a set amount of products. You give away like 30 products to Amazon customers or something like this, and in return you get reviews. And this is why it becomes important to have the very low price when you're launching, because when you give away products to the Amazon customers, right, they're pretty damn ruthless. They don't hold back, and they can give bad reviews, and they freaking do give bad reviews, and it's annoying because you pay for the service, you also pay for the cost of your items when you're giving them away, right? So it can end up being like quite expensive. So you need to make sure that you're making them specifically as happy as possible. And to do that, because they do comment on price quite a lot, so to do that, I usually just put the price as low as I can sort of afford to. I don't want to be losing money as such, but if it's break even or I'm making a small amount, I'm usually fine with that. Also, getting onto the TikTok side as well, like I just want to explain it a little bit more, because all I said was, oh yeah, it can make your product go viral, and it can, and it will. But you need to do it the correct way. You need to be utilizing 4 different things. And again, ads is one of them on TikTok too. You want to be posting every single day on your main page. Ideally, I'd be recommending you to post 3 times per day on your main page. 1 in the morning, 1 at midday, and 1 in the evening. Because just do it. If you don't believe me, just do it. If you have the right framework on how to create viral videos, for sure, like in 3 months. If you don't have a viral video, let's have a chat. Let's have a chat, honestly. If you post 3 times per day and you actually have a decent framework and you actually focus on hooking people in and stuff like this, and you're going to get a viral video. 100%, your brand's going to blow up. You just need to be that consistent with it. It's not that hard to create these videos. So you need to be doing the ads, you need to be doing your main page content 1 to 3 times per day. Utilizing affiliates, sending these products out to affiliates, and they in turn create videos for you. And then finally, or live streams as well. Live streams is a little bit further down the line, but it's something you really do need to think about. When you do all of these 4 in synergy together, it's going to really, really help the algorithm. It's going to really help the algorithm, and all of these 4 are just going to start aligning together. And then now, so we've gone through making a killer packaging, making a killer listing, launching it properly with a correct marketing plan here now. But finally, you've got the last thing, which is ongoing maintenance and growth. Now, it's going to be really, really important to stay in stock. It doesn't matter what platform you're selling on, even if it's your own website, all of it. When you start to run out of stock for long periods of time, you try and it's back in again, you're launching back again, it never goes as well. It never goes as well. So it becomes so important to always keep your stock in as much as you possibly can. And it can be very, very hard. It can be very, very hard, I know. So you want to be seeing if you could maybe utilize air shipping on your products and some by sea, because by sea can take a long time. So you're mixing a couple of them in together. Let me just put this camera up a bit. Oh no. Yes. That's better. Yeah, so you want to be seeing if you can utilize both air shipping and sea shipping, if possible, maybe even the train. Also, ongoing maintenance and growth. You want to be always seeing if you can optimize your ad campaigns as much as possible, because ads are super, super important, and they can be very, very, very expensive, right? So you want to be maybe negating certain keywords, you want to maybe be segregating certain creatives which are performing well for you and things like this, also that you are saving ultimately on your ad costs and being more efficient, being more effective as well. You also want to be monitoring things like your click-through rates, your impressions, your conversion rates, the amount of sales that you're making and stuff as well, because that will give you signs and significations that you need to change certain things. So if you're not getting the amount of clicks that you would like from all the impressions, then perhaps there's a problem with your main image, for example, purposes. Or for example, if people are clicking on your product but they're not buying, it may be an issue somewhere in your listing, to which in your copy, or again in your images as well, or it might be the price point. Okay, so multiple ongoing maintenance tasks, multiple growth tasks, such as as well expanding it onto your own website, onto a Shopify store. You want to be thinking about all of these things. Can I expand onto Temu, eBay as well? Can I maybe start selling a little bit business to business? All of this is going to compound and help you ultimately make more money. So that's it from me. That's how you can launch a brand properly. Some tips that you need to actually really launch a brand properly on the Amazon and the TikTok Shop platform. We've been doing this for a long time now. I've been doing Amazon for 6 years, and I've had my own brands for 3.5 of them years. We're consistently doing insane numbers. At the time of making this video today, we did over £23,000 in one day in sales, 4.4 grand in profit, one fucking day, which is crazy. The business is doing over 3 million a year. We're going to do 4.5 million this year, 100%. So I mean, we're actively doing what we speak about, and we're also actively helping people as well. So like, if that's something you're interested in, you want any help directly from me, a 7-figure Amazon seller, which is actually fucking doing what they say they do and not bullshitting people online, then obviously click the description down below. I'm just booking a call directly with me, and we'll see if we can help you get to where you want to be. But without further ado, thank you very much. That's it from me. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.